What's poppin' YouTube? Had a video request on how to breed betta fish. Been asked quite a while to do it. Of course I waited to get a new camera, so here it is, guys. I'm gonna let you guys know what I did, and just so you guys know, I got almost all my information from Joel Corvus on Dark Star Aquatics. You can talk to him there, or Corvus Ocean on YouTube. Great guy, one of my good friends. I got all my information from him. Called him up one day. He was like, "Yo, give me some tips on betta breeding," and he let me know, and it worked first try with me. So, definitely check out his channel and subscribe to him. Check out his videos and ask him any questions you want, guys. Anyway, what I did is start out with a 10-gallon tank. I keep the female and the male in separate tanks right beside each other. Some people like to use bare bottom tanks. I didn't. I wanted to go the most natural way, so I used plants. And once you see how Bettas use the plants and feel so safe with them, you'll understand what I mean. I didn't put a power filter on during the breeding process. Too much surface agitation can mess up the male's bubble nest, so what I did is put a little air stone in and just turned it down, put a little control valve on the airline and turn it down just so it bubbles a little bit, but not too much where it'll disturb the surface of the water too much. And of course the heater, kept the heater at 79 degrees. Bettas like high temperatures. You can go up to 82, I think, but I kept mine at 79 and everything went well. So that's the tank setup. I used a regular, this is the tank I used, a little grow out tank. Worked just fine. Sorry that's a mess, that's just for growing plants out for all you guys. By the way, I'm sending some plants out Monday for the people that messaged me and asked. Anyway, so I keep them in 10-gallon tanks separated. I put them right beside each other, as you can see. And what that does, that allows the females which are in here and the male which is in here to form a relationship and get to know each other a little bit better. I do that for at least 2 weeks ahead of time before you start the breeding. I think it really helps. It gets them really used to each other. Anyway, for 2 weeks you feed the female and the male real meaty foods, high protein foods. What I used was frozen bloodworms, frozen brine shrimp, and frozen mysis shrimp, and some earthworms from outside every now and then as well, whenever you can get them. You want to feed them up. Of course, you want to feed the female so the eggs are healthy and she's real healthy. The male, you want to, of course, feed him. Make sure you feed the male too, because he won't eat while he's protecting the fry and while he's raising the fry for the first few days. So you want to make sure he gets good and fed before the process takes place. Anyway, for 2 weeks you feed them up. You'll see the female start to get gravid. She'll get a huge bulge in her stomach. Some people even say that they get some kind of lateral lines or some kind of lines on their body. I didn't see that in mine, but you can really tell when they get gravid, and gravid means they're full of eggs. So after 2 weeks of feeding them up really good, getting them good and fat and everything, I take a clear container. What I used was the betta cups that the female betta, or that the bettas come in when you buy them, the clear cups. I take the female, put her in one of the clear cups, and I put her in the male's tank and let her float around for 24 hours. And what that does is that lets the male betta get even closer to her, and they form an even tighter relationship, get to know each other a little bit better. And usually what happened with mine, as soon as I put the female betta in the cup and floated her in the male's tank, the male instantly went to go bank a bubble nest. Now I'm not saying that's going to happen with you guys. He can make it after you release her, but that's what mine did. Mine started making his bubble nest instantly, and I think that's part to do with letting them see each other through tanks close to each other. So That's a pretty good tip, I believe. Anyway, float the female for 24 hours. After 24 hours is up, release the female into the male's tank. Now the male is going to go crazy and tear up the female, tear up her fins. Don't get discouraged about that. Don't trip out over that. That's part of the process, part of the breeding process with betta fish. They tear each other up pretty good. The male will chase her down non-stop and beat her up pretty good. Your female might not have barely any fins left, but you guys just got to know that everything's gonna be okay, and you know, that's just part of it. And I'm pretty sure the female likes it, obviously. So anyway, after you release her, eventually she'll stop running, she'll stop swimming away from the male, and she'll let him know she's ready. She'll stop, and they'll start doing their thing, and I'll have a part 2 video coming up on what happens next after they start the breeding. Male puts the eggs in the bubble nest, etc., and how to raise the betta fry. I don't have a whole lot of time, so I'm going to do a 2-part video, maybe a 3-part video for you guys, so make sure you guys look out for that. So a little rundown. I keep the female bettas and the male bettas in separate tanks next to each other. I prefer 10 gallons at least. 5 gallons will work too, but I use 10 gallons. Feed them up for 2 weeks, high protein foods, bloodworms, mysis shrimp, brine shrimp, you know, stuff like that, for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, take the female, float her in a clear cup or clear container, float her in the male's tank. For 24 hours you want to float her. After 24 hours, release her. She's gonna get chased around by the male, and if they don't breed within 24 hours after releasing the female, I would take the female out and try it all over again. I wouldn't leave the female in the male's tank overnight, just because I don't know if the male would kill her. I guess that's something you could ask Corvus Oshkin on YouTube, or Joel on, his name is Joel. He probably knows the answer to that, but to me, I would say don't leave them in there over 24 hours together overnight. I would just take the female out and do it all over again. But you know, most likely if they're both ready and you know, you let them form a relationship ahead of time, they'll most likely breed. So and the male might make a bubble nest even when the female's in the other tank. So you know, if you see the male making a bubble nest and you have the female fed up real good, go ahead and do that. Put her in whenever you see that happen. So yeah, guys, check out the second part, 2-part video. It'll be coming up, you know, in a few days. Pretty simple, guys. I mean, it's not too hard. Please make sure you have a place to sell the betta fry. Do not breed bettas for fun. Do not try to breed them unless you have somebody to buy them. Okay, guys, I'm not down with that. I don't like that at all. Now go to your local fish store, ask for store credit. That's what I'm getting. I'm trading the betta fish for store credit. So please make sure you have a home for the betta fry before you decide to breed. They're awesome fish, guys. Once you get them out of those cups, you know, they look boring in those cups at the store. Once you get them out of the cups, they're amazing fish. You know, one of my favorite fish for sure.